and welcome to Something Witchy, a Sabrina the Teenage Witch rewatch podcast. I'm Lara Cotter.
And I'm Sky Orchard.
And Sky's coming to you with one eye.
Sure am.
They still have both eyeballs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I'm just wearing an eye patch that has a secret pocket for an ice pack. And so it's the teeny tiny ice pack on my eye.
So because Sky looks like a pirate and I couldn't come up with a good question for this week, instead of doing regular chit chat, we're going to generate our pirate names. And then there's 8 questions, so this is going to take a minute.
Oh my gosh.
The first one I went to was the Louisiana Pirate Festival, and my antivirus software said, "This is a phishing site, get out of here." Which makes sense for a pirate festival.
Yes. Well, while we may be pirates, we don't like that kind of fishing.
No.
Oh, did you know that when someone impersonates like leadership or a CEO, it's called whaling? Fun fact of the day.
That was fun. I do like how this website I am on, which I think is StantonIslandYachts.com. When I type in the blank to type in the first question, it automatically tries to populate my credit card information.
Oh gosh.
That's super secure. Okay, Sky, we're going to do you first.
Okay.
What is your favorite type of pirate ship? For example, a galley, a galleon, a sloop, etc.
Let's go with a galleon.
Do you need more ship types? Because I don't know my ships. And so I did pull up a little image of ships and I give you more options.
My pirate knowledge is sort of lacking, not gonna lie. Or my ship knowledge.
Here's the image I'm using. It's from a Facebook group called Pirate of the Seas. And they're debating which ship would be the best pirate ship.
Oh, well, if it's from Pirate of the Seas.
Oh, but somebody's mad that a schooner is not written on here, and that is the best, according to this person, according to Charles.
I think I was right. I like a galleon.
Okay.
Though a Queen Anne's Revenge always has a nice ring to it.
That might be what I choose. All right, next question. What is your pirate personality like? Brave, cunning, ruthless, etc.
Probably reckless. I would just run straight into things.
Okay. What is your favorite type of treasure? Gold, jewels, artifacts, etc.
Let's do artifacts.
Not weapons?
Oh, weapons.
Okay.
I didn't think that counted as treasure. I thought that counted
I
as
think that
weapons.
counts as treasure. Oh, what is your weapon of choice? How specific are you going to get here?
That's a great question. Do I just be basic and say cutlass, or do I go a little bit more crazy?
I think you should go as crazy as your heart desires.
Oh, I wasn't prepared with any sword facts here.
How can you be prepared for the pirate game?
That's true. Okay, so your basic double shell guard cutlass. And then I also want to have a cutthroat inker dagger.
Can you say the names again so I can type them this time?
Cutlass and dagger.
Cutlass and dagger. Okay. What is your pirate style? Like dashing, rugged, flashy, etc.
Rugged?
What is your favorite type of adventure? Exploring, plundering, battling others?
Let's do exploring.
Okay. What is your favorite type of rum?
Oh, I like a dark spiced rum.
Do you have any hobbies or interests that you would like to incorporate into your pirate name? And we can leave this blank. Just skip it.
Swords.
Oh my gosh, it's so stupid. Your pirate name is the Swords.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I regenerated it and now it's Reckless Dog. Or you could be the Cutlass and Dagger Serpent.
So it's just taking entries.
So bad. I want another way. Oh, okay. I'm going to put in my first name. Not my credit card information. There we go. My first name. My pirate name is Laura Shaw.
Wow.
Terrible. Yours is better.
Did you just find one of those first letter and month you were born?
No, it was literally just my first name. And then they just tacked on a surname.
Oh, I like this one I just found. First letter of my name. One-eyed, which I am right now because I have a patch on. And then June is Blackbeard.
Ooh, one-eyed Blackbeard. That's a nice one.
You're a barnacle landlubber.
Mine are terrible. I don't like this game. It's what I get for not being able to come up with a question.
That one let me be one-eyed until I'm no longer one-eyed.
Oh, hold on. What is this one? On this one, I'd be Billy Goat Stink-a-Lot. And you would be Plunder and Freebooter.
On this one, you would be Swash Skull Crusher.
Okay.
And I would be Snaggletooth Cutlass. Ooh, a cutlass that's seen things. I like that.
That's the best one.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
boy. Okay. We spent enough time on pirate names.
That was great.
This is season 3, episode 10, titled Sabrina and the Beast. TV guide description. When Harvey and Sabrina go for the cutest couple title at high school. That's not right, TV guide, but okay. She becomes too obsessed with her looks and her cousin turns Harvey into a beast. Our streaming description. In order to teach Sabrina a lesson about love and beauty, Harvey is turned into a beast. Well, streaming wins by default because TV guide is factually incorrect. It's not a high school competition. Unless Mrs. Popowski is a real rough-looking senior.
You know, we've all been there.
It originally aired November 27th, 1998. We have Sheldon Bull returning as our director, and we have a new writer. It is Danita Jones, but we have heard that name before. She is one of the cheerleaders named in the pom-pom incident.
Full circle moment.
She also wrote for Frasier, Project Runway, and America's Most Smartest Model.
Ooh.
Our guest stars. First up is Jose Hebert as himself. He is a famous hairstylist, and I lifted this quote from his IMDb page because I enjoyed it. For more than 4 decades, Jose Hebert, arguably the most recognized name in hairstyling, has been in the vanguard of beauty. Since the very beginning of his career, Jose has set the trends. He created the most influential looks of the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, something no one else has ever accomplished. And with the dawning of the new millennium, he remains a leading trendsetter in hair and fashion. Clearly, that was written in the year 2000 and not updated. His clients have included Farrah Fawcett, and he is the one who created the Farrah hairstyle, Cher, and Elizabeth Taylor. Next, we have Beth Grant returning as Mrs. Popowski, but IMDb has her credit as Mrs. Grant. And so I was like, did Mrs. Popowski get divorced and remarried? But she's referenced as Mrs. Popowski in this show, so that's what we're going with. Next is Sonia Fortag as cousin Susie from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Charmed, and Dracula Dead and Loving It, and Cheers. Then Taso Papadakis as Jake from Alias, Pacific Blue, Fun with Dick and Jane, and NCIS Miami. And we have no credit for the voice of the Dominatron. I'm assuming it's got to be a writer or maybe even Nick himself who just has a voice distortion going on. What were your overall thoughts on this one, Sky?
You know, maybe it's my age. I feel like as we go about watching these, I tend to be more drawn and interested to the Ants plot lines and Salem's plot line over the teenage plot lines. And I don't know if it's just, I am older now and not a teenager, but it was just an observation I made as I've thought through. Well, I typically save for my overall thoughts and ratings, and it tends to be I like the B storyline.
I definitely think that's it. I think we've had some weak A storylines in the past, too.
Yeah, I really like the B storyline. A was okay. I feel like the lesson learned wasn't necessarily new or anything, but we got family secrets, and so I will take it. We got 2.
Yeah.
They're stupid family secrets, but we did get them.
I was worried you were going to solve it, actually.
Oh.
I was like, what if Sky is a secret genius and they just get it?
I am a secret genius, but only when I'm super sick.
Go lick some doorknobs and then you'll solve the family secret.
Cool. Definitely will do that.
It's one of those classic teen tropes. You have to do beauties on the inside. You just have to. There are some parts of it that landed a little flat and awkward in a 2026 world versus a 1998 world. This is very much a time. If anybody's also listening to the Boy Meets World rewatch podcast, they're in their last season. And there's a storyline coming up all about how Topanga's fat. And Danielle Fishel is by no stretch of the imagination is that girl fat, especially not 1990 or 2000 Danielle Fishel. And they talked about it at length. And I don't think people who are not teen or young adult women in this time period understand what it was like being told if you were not a waif. We called it heroin chic for a reason. If you were not that super, super skinny, if you don't have the right shaped face, if you had a round face or a heart-shaped face, even if you were still thin, you were fat. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I understand why they had to do it. I feel like it was a little bit clumsy and heavy-handed in the way they went about doing it. But Anytime I get to see Nate dressed up in some crazy outfits and acting weird, I'm also happy. So the Nate part of it was great. I feel like Sabrina suddenly being this very shallow person doesn't super align with what we've seen in the past of her. It was a little bit weird for her to suddenly one episode be very obsessed with looks.
Yeah.
Like, I could see if they played it more into like her overall desire for perfection, which she definitely has, that would have made more sense. Instead, it was just, ew, my boyfriend's gross now. I'm way over analyzing a teen sitcom. Let's get into it. Our cold open. Sabrina is trying to fix her hair in the mirror. She tries putting on a hat, but throws it just as Hilda walks in the door and ends up hitting Hilda. Sabrina zaps in Jose a bear. Hilda immediately tries to talk to him about her hair, and Sabrina and Hilda end up fighting over him.
Excuse me, you just slept funny. My problems are centuries old, says Hilda. Yeah, but I have a social life, retorts Sabrina.
Not wrong, Sabrina. Have we seen Hilda go out of the house recently?
I don't think so, because she stayed indoors even for the trying to make Zelda and Mr. Kraft break up.
She hasn't even gone out to like play with her orchestra or symphony lately. Jose tells them that his fee is $1,000 an hour. And apparently they're okay with that. Our outfit intro, I think it's a ballerina flower. I'm pretty sure I saw some ballet shoes on her feet. And she says, "Can you see my roots?" Sabrina is admiring her hair and a spoon at the table. Hilda comes in from a run, and Salem makes a snide remark.
I thought running involved speed.
While dressed as her coach. Hilda is training for the decathlon and declares that Salem is not her coach.
A little decathlon sidetrack, because why not? A decathlon is a track and field event that occurs over 2 days. Day 1 includes the 100-meter, long jump, shot put, high jump, and 400-meter. Day 2 is 110-meter hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, and 1500-meter. Most commonly seen during the Olympics, but there are also non-Olympic decathlons out there. But then what was really interesting is a centurion decathlon. It was created by Dr. Peter Attia, and it includes 10 physical tasks you want to be able to do at the age of 100 according to him, and or the final decade of your life, if you know what decade that's going to be. While you can customize it, in his book Outlive, he suggests the following 10 tasks for your Centurion Decathlon. Hike 1.5 miles on a hilly trail, get up off the floor using a maximum of one arm for support, pick up a 30-pound child from the floor, carry 2 5-pound bags of groceries for 5 blocks, lift a 20-pound suitcase into the overhead compartment of a plane, balance on one leg for 30 seconds with eyes open, bonus if you have your eyes closed for 15 seconds, have sex, climb 4 flights of stairs in 3 minutes, open a jar, and do 30 consecutive jump rope skips. That's asking a lot for a 90-year-old.
I'm not doing that for socials.
I can't even do one jump rope skip. I'll go hike at 1.5 miles on a hilly trail.
Okay. My question was going to be, do we think an Other Realm decathlon is the same as a human decathlon? And I'm thinking maybe the Other Realm decathlon might be this one.
I mean, if they're living for centuries, title makes sense.
How do they judge that? Do you think it's like a 10-point scoring system, like gymnastics? Or...
Maybe. I don't know enough about decathlons.
You got to stick the landing. Salem only wants to be Hilda's coach because the Other Realm gives generous stipends to coaches. And if you're paying attention to the water bottle Hilda has, she has already twisted the cap of it off in the previous scene, and she's still twisting it off when we zoom in on Salem. Salem says he's also doing it for the fame. Zelda comes in humming. Hilda realizes she must have seen Cousin Susie. Everyone talks about how amazing she is.
That woman is so inspirational. Because of her, I stopped killing for sport, Salem declares.
And because of the discussions we've had on this podcast, I automatically assumed he meant humans. We're going with humans, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Most Dangerous Game.
That's the name of that book.
Yeah.
Can you believe I read that in junior high?
I mean, we all did.
Why would they have us read that in junior high? That book has haunted me for years.
I think it's important to read.
To learn how to survive against a madman that's hunting you for sport.
It makes you think about the human condition, similar to Lord of the Flies, another one of my favorites, and also the essay by, what's his name talking about how you can just eat the babies instead with the Irish famine. It's satire, but a very good essay.
I thought it was the guy who wrote Water Babies because I read Water Babies, and that's the most racist against the Irish book I've ever seen in my entire life.
No. A Modest Proposal is what it is by Swift, Jonathan Swift. It's a great essay.
Okay, so anyway, so Salem is the villain in The Most Dangerous Game.
Yes. Long story short.
Zelda tells Sabrina cousin Susie's coming this Friday to talk about the family secret. Sabrina is depressed, though. Zelda comforts her and says that Susie can make anyone feel inadequate. But Sabrina is upset that no one has complimented her hair and goes back to looking in the spoon. Sabrina meets Harvey at the slicery, and he is wearing an interesting outfit. It's a long-sleeve tie-dyed shirt under a short-sleeve blue button-up with what appears to be a leopard fur collar. They had to have custom made that blue shirt because I don't believe that blue shirt exists in nature.
I could see it being out there.
Who would like, because the color looks like something you'd see on a woman's shirt, but it's very clearly a men's fit. I don't know. And like the fabrics are just so very different. If somebody has that shirt in their attic somewhere, let us know. He got to buy his entire winter wardrobe because his mother is too pregnant to shop for him. Also, this boy is 17 years old. He can dress himself now.
But hey, we found a way to mention his mother's pregnancy again.
This is true. You know what? Consistency. Points for consistency. Sabrina is concerned that there are more outfits. They sit at a table and Sabrina reads a flyer about the Westbridge Chamber of Commerce looking for a cute couple to appear in a marketing brochure. Mrs. Papowski, who is awkwardly hovering in the back of the previous scene, then comes up to the table and tells them that she and her husband are going to try out. We get a call back to Mrs. Papowski calling Sabrina Salinas. Sabrina tells Harvey they should try out, but Libby overhears this and laughs, showing off her new boyfriend. They're going to be chosen. Sabrina criticizes how obsessed Libby is with looks.
Sabrina says, I thought you were dating Dan, to which Libby replies, Dan's a blonde. We'd clash.
I don't believe Libby would ever go out with Dan then, because it's not just her cutest couple. That girl, 24/7, she's got looks on the brain. She knows.
She sure does.
Hilda is punching a punching bag and gets startled when Salem blows a whistle. Oh, and she says something like, I should be punching a bag full of cats instead.
She does.
Zelda comes in and asks Hilda if she's ready, but Hilda doesn't remember for what. They're going to shore up the eroding cliffs of Venus with kudzu for cousin Susie.
Kudzu is an invasive vine from Japan that smothers native plants and trees by growing up to a foot a day. Medicinal uses for kudzu include reducing alcohol cravings, easing menopause symptoms, and improving circulation. There is also a Chinese stink bug called a kudzu.
I'm surprised cousin Susie would advocate for planting an invasive species of plant, unless it's native to Venus. I'm going with it's native to Venus. I know that stuff is taking over the southeast of the US.
It is.
Hilda quickly makes up an excuse that her trainer, aka Salem, is making her do sprints. Salem is overjoyed to be her coach.
As Zelda leaves, post Hilda's excuse, she says, Well, I'm glad to see the two of you have come to an agreement. Susie's helping me realize how important it is to have harmony in the family. You break another promise, I'll kill you.
Later, Harvey rings the door, and Sabrina opens it to find him wearing a very 90s outfit, complete with bucket hat and baggy jeans. She tells him that she went shopping at a thrift store and picked up a few things for him to try on. I don't know why she's so picky about this outfit. You would absolutely have seen this in like Tiger Beat or Teen Beat or whatever those things were called back in the day. You would have seen male celebrities wearing this. She zaps upstairs and we hear a ping. He goes up to her room to check out the clothes. We get our first montage of the episode of Harvey trying on several cool outfits before settling on a classic dark suit. The transcript calls it a black suit with a black shirt, but the shirt really looked blue on my screen. And I don't necessarily believe he'd wear a black suit with a blue shirt, so I think it's like maybe a very dark gray or very dark blue suit.
I don't see why she's trying to just dress him in suits so much. Like, there's cool 90s teenager outfits that are far from suits.
Maybe they wanted to go classy and timeless.
Maybe.
How often do they update this brochure for Westbridge? This thing might have to last 30 years. We're coming up. We're coming up on the time for a new brochure.
Yeah.
I liked how it was very, for a thrift store, supposed thrift store find, it was very nicely tailored to Harvey. Harvey goes back downstairs and Sabrina approves of his outfit, which I was also like, his outfit looks super nice. Was hers the same level as nice as his? It's debatable. Salem surprises Hilda with a large exercise machine, the Dominatron.
Nice Zamboni, Hilda comments as she enters the room.
Hilda gets on and starts it. The machine announces level 1 workout activated. Hilda is not excited about the talking feature. Salem uses this time to stuff his face with what are definitely not ruffles. Zelda is reading, mumbling to herself about famine, pestilence, war, and decides she likes war.
I couldn't not mention this comment given our majority in Congress and their lack of boundaries. I appreciate it. So Sabrina says, "When did you become a Republican?" And I'm sorry to those it might offend, but until we have checks and balances back again, it's relevant.
The Sabrina Wiki claims that this line says everybody is a Democrat. I'm still holding out judgment on Hilda. I don't know about that girl. We'll see. One's a Confederate. Zelda explains to Sabrina that Susie has been encouraging her to invent something that will truly benefit mankind. Zelda can't decide to wipe out disease or hunger. The phone rings and Sabrina answers it. She and Harvey won the contest to be the couple on the brochure. Zelda distractedly congratulates her as she reads her book while walking into the dining room. Sabrina zaps the kitchen table into a runway, which I was like, why does the table morph? But okay. And she walks down it in an evening gown to music, applause, and the flash of cameras. And then we get a snarky comment about Kate Moss not eating, which 1998, it was funny for 1998, for 2026. Knowing what all the women went through did not land as well. Hilda is struggling on the Dominatron and asks Salem for some words of encouragement, but he's asleep. She tries to stop the machine, but it tells her she can do it. Her energy is renewed and she keeps going for like 2 seconds. And then the workout is complete. The machine tells her she's a winner.
Salem wakes up to the talk about being a winner and says, "Huh? Was someone complimenting me?"
Hilda leaves to get ready for cousin Susie, but she doesn't actually get ready because she doesn't change her clothes in the next scene as we see. The machine compliments her again as she leaves. Salem celebrates getting the glory as the coach without having to do the work, but the Dominatron tells him it will be the new coach and will crush anything that gets in its way. Salem runs upstairs to tell everyone that the machine is alive as they wait around the linen closet door for Susie. Hilda doesn't believe him.
"Well, I guess it's possible that I'm wrong if you push the threaten the cat button," says Salem.
The closet thunders and cousin Susie walks out, her face hidden by a pile of presents. Sabrina starts to greet her, but is startled when she sees Susie's green, wart-covered face. We had an episode with the evil witch, and like, oh, just because that's how she looks doesn't mean she's not an evil witch.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina should remember that one. For this one, everyone goes down to the living room to chat. Sabrina sits as far away from Susie on the couch as she can. Susie apologizes for being late. She was taking soup to her neighbor, the old woman who lives in the shoe. She's sad because her kids don't visit her anymore, and Hilda says, well, what can you expect when she turned the toe into a sewing room? Zelda brings in a tea tray and calls Susie goodness personified. Sabrina is still hunched over the sofa arm, trying to lean away. Susie scooches closer to discuss the family secret, but Sabrina abruptly gets up and runs upstairs to write a term paper on the history of term papers. Sabrina is on the phone with Harvey, telling him what to wear for their photo shoot. Not plaid. Susie knocks and comes in. Sabrina gives a hasty excuse that she was just about to shower and strategically moves a chair in between them. What does she think's going to happen? Does she think she's going to catch Susie's face?
It's clearly a spreadable disease.
We've seen Hilda and Zelda be close to her, and they're fine.
But they're full-blooded witches. You don't know what it would do to a mortal.
And we know that those aunts sometimes are pretty lax about the danger they put their niece in. Susie noticed that Sabrina seemed uncomfortable before and asked Sabrina if she has an issue with how Susie looks. Sabrina denies it, but slips up and calls Susie a very nice wart. Susie warns Sabrina that looks are fleeting and she needs to teach Sabrina this lesson. And it's a really weird end to the scene where Susie's saying this and we hear the door shut, but the whole time we're on Sabrina's face. And Sabrina, she's kind of giving a thoughtful facial expression, but it's nothing really interesting. I don't know why this wasn't a further away shot to see Susie leave. It was a long pause on Sabrina's uncomfortable face. Salem goes to the kitchen for a midnight snack and finds the Dominatron controlling all the other appliances. Salem runs back upstairs yelling for help.
Now I know why he was on sale.
Salem wakes up Sabrina, who is worried there's something wrong with her face. She checks the mirror and is relieved to find she's normal. Salem tries to tell her about the appliances, but she doesn't believe him.
Salem, no more sardines and Mystery Science Theater before bedtime for you.
Not a bad policy. Sabrina is still checking her face the next morning at school. She is startled to find Libby's face staring at her in the mirror, but it's just Libby behind her, claiming she never wanted to win that contest anyway.
Libby's boyfriend walks up, and Libby exclaims, "Get away from me, Sasquatch."
Libby stalks off while Sabrina checks her face again. In a deja vu-like scene, Harvey comes up holding a large stack of books, hiding his face. When he lowers them, Sabrina is startled to see a large amount of hair and a very big mole on his face. Sabrina stares in shock. Sabrina then points out Harvey's face as if he's not aware of it, and he raises the books back up and leaves. Sabrina runs into an empty classroom to summon Cousin Susie, who is holding a tray of cookies.
Her summoning spell is, "Cousin Susie, who's so cutesy, please come and help Harvey out of this hair doozy."
Sabrina asks Susie to turn Harvey back, but Susie can't. Only Sabrina can fix it when she's truly learned her lesson. Sabrina starts to storm off, but comes back to grab a cookie. Hilda is working out on the Dominatron, but is exhausted and tries to stop it.
"Maybe I've had enough. According to this heart monitor, I'm dead."
The machine encourages her again, and she keeps going. Salem is on the kitchen table, surrounded by appliances that are whirring and steaming.
"I'm going to write a strongly worded letter to the Sunbeam Corporation."
Is Sunbeam still in business?
Yes, but it's going under a different name after there was a big fraud scandal in 2002.
What?
Yep.
How do you commit fraud with appliances?
Accounting fraud. They got a SEC audit.
Oh, that's boring fraud.
Yeah.
I wanted toaster fraud.
Nah.
Zelda comes in to get water and talk about her breakthrough in solving hunger. The appliances fall silent. Zelda leaves and the appliances start up again. Salem sobs. I wonder how many times I've written the word Salem sobs throughout this series so far.
A lot. He is a cowardly lion.
For a man who at one point was going to take over the world. Sabrina meets Harvey outside of the nurse's office. Students stare as Harvey talks about how unhelpful the nurse was. Sabrina goes into the dining room to tell Zelda what a horrible thing Susie has done to Harvey. Zelda doesn't believe it. There's a lot of people not believing other people in this episode. Susie is the best person in the whole world. We get a quick scene change to Susie feeding homeless witches with one hand while holding a baby in the other. A light beam falls on her, making her look like a saint. Back in the dining room, Sabrina complains about how Harvey is turning into a beast.
"He's a 17-year-old boy. It sounds like he's right on track," says Zelda.
Zelda still doesn't understand and tells Sabrina she doesn't have time. She's inventing a machine that will turn dirt into food. Sabrina flips through the magic book while Salem whimpers under the covers on her bed. Sabrina uncovers him and talks out loud about all the magical things that have happened to Harvey.
Poor Harvey. He's been pregnant, turned into a bowling pin, a frog.
And then she gets an idea that if she kisses him, he'll change back, and she runs out of the room. Salem continues to whimper. Not sob this time. Hilda continues to exercise, now completely exhausted, and keeps trying to stop the machine, but it won't. She tries to get off, and it shuts some gates, trapping her inside. The machine yells that she can't take a break. Hilda begins walking faster. Zelda tests out her machine. The nuts it produces taste like dirt. Hilda is still running on the machine and kicks the gates open. The machine zaps her as she runs away to find Salem. She opens the front door, but it closes, then opens, then closes, then opens, with her hand stuck on it. The machine controls everything in the house and won't release her until she's completed 50 reps. Is the machine sentient? Is there a spirit trapped inside the machine?
I feel like it's just like the great Disney Channel movie, Smart House.
It's AI!
It is. Hilda said she doesn't like the talking, and it was like, oh, Hilda, you would not like this day and age.
Or would Hilda be that aunt on Facebook who's reposting every single AI generated, like, look at this child crying because no one liked their cake they made?
Oh, yeah. Using up all the water in the world for ridiculous ChatGPT questions.
Yeah, that might be Hilda. Sabrina shows up at Harvey's house. He has gotten even hairier.
"I know. My mom just made an appointment with a veterinarian." Sabrina replies, "Oh, well, if they say anything about emptying a fecal gland, run."
My sister's cat has to have her glands expressed every so often.
Oh, Willow.
Poor little Willow. Sabrina cringes and quickly kisses him, but he doesn't change. Susie is singing to woodland animals on the porch when Sabrina joins her. asking why kissing Harvey didn't work. Susie says the lesson isn't that easy.
I've still got the whisker burns, though, says Sabrina.
Which, like, how? It was like the quickest little peck. There was no cheek rubbing, like.
It would have to be like porcupine needle whiskers where they just stick out.
Like long ones. Sabrina asks for a hint, but Susie won't give her one. Sabrina decides to go to the slicery. She passes by Hilda, who is lifting a window up and down to work her biceps. Hilda mouths, "Help me," as Sabrina walks away. Sabrina finds Harvey sitting in a booth at the slicery. She sits with him as Mrs. Popowski puts a "No Pets" sign on their table. Harvey apologizes for everyone that's staring at him. She tries to be the bigger person and put her hand on his, saying she obviously doesn't care what he looks like if she's sitting with him. She forcibly smiles while saying, "Lesson learned," but Harvey doesn't change. She pulls her hand away. Harvey notices he got pizza in his fur and jumps over the table to go find a watering hole to wash in. Sabrina puts her head in her hands when a cute waiter approaches. He introduces himself as Jake and asks if Harvey, who is currently going through the dumpster, is her boyfriend. We get a quick flash to Harvey in the dumpster with a garbage bag in his mouth. Sabrina tells Jake Harvey is just a friend. Then she hears Harvey howling and says he's a friend of a friend. This is just so unlike Sabrina.
Yeah.
Also, did she learn nothing from the, I feel like this is, kind of tangentially related to the Valerie wanting to be a cheerleader one, where it's like, don't judge the people you love for how they look or the activities they want to do, because it's not going to change who they are. But okay. This week, Sabrina is shallow. Hilda begs the Dominatron to let her stop as she runs. It just insults her. She calls for Salem to unplug it. Salem gets chased into the living room by a vacuum. He's too scared. Hilda reminds him that the machine doesn't know where the treats are hidden. This encourages Salem to leave and find a way to turn it off. Which, if the machine can control doors, logically it should also be able to control cupboard doors, which means it probably knows where the treats are hidden.
Yeah.
If it's AI, it's not that smart, maybe. Zelda has just finished her invention to stop hunger. Salem chews through wires at the fuse box. He is electrocuted as the power goes out in the house, stopping the Dominatron, but also destroying Zelda's machine. However, the light in the dining room behind her doesn't go out. Sabrina is ranting to a silent Salem about how she wasn't in the wrong to flirt with cute Jake. She decides to do homework, but her lamp won't turn on. Salem says it's a long story and asks for lip balm.
Cauldron Watch, we have photos in it now, and pens are back with the pencils. Pens are back in style.
Like 3x5 photos or like those photo booth long photos?
Postcard size photos with a little curve to them.
All right. Hilda limps into the kitchen, admitting she won't ever compete in the decathlon. A disappointed Zelda joins Hilda and Salem, saying that Susie pointed out that hungry third world countries often don't have a lot of electricity. Harvey shows up at the house, causing Salem to hiss and run away. Kitty actor!
Yay, kitty actor.
He thanks Sabrina for being so supportive during this time. He gives her a rock he carved into a heart with his bare hands. He turns to leave, but Sabrina asks him to come hang out. Wild Thing is supposed to be playing during this montage. Harvey and Sabrina watch a movie and eat popcorn. Harvey dances around in the kitchen and jumps on the table. Sabrina and Harvey play foosball at the slicery, and he scores a goal, so he pounds on his chest and howls. Sabrina and Harvey dance on the kitchen table together. Sabrina scores at foosball in the slicery and also pounds her chest and howls. Harvey roars at Libby when she laughs at Sabrina. Harvey and Sabrina slow dance in the kitchen. Mrs. Popowski pours soda into a bowl that Sabrina and Harvey share with 2 straws. Harvey and Sabrina get back to her house.
I can't remember when I've had such a good time. Harvey says, yeah, I know. Maybe I shouldn't have bitten Mrs. Popowski. Which Sabrina says, oh, you didn't break the skin.
Oh, I should have told you. You want to hear something sad? The last time we see the slicery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they were kicked out because Harvey bit Mrs. Popowski.
Mrs. Popowski died from rabies because of Harvey.
Susie, you're not so great after all. You caused a mortal death.
So many health code violations. They had to shut it down. Sabrina wonders what everyone was staring at and if she has something in her teeth. Harvey points out that they were staring at him. Sabrina forgot. Harvey goes to wash his paws and the doorbell rings. It's Jake. How did Jake know where Sabrina lives? That's a little weird and creepy. Sabrina stops him and says Harvey is actually her boyfriend. Jake then turns into Susie, who tells Sabrina she learned her lesson. Sabrina doesn't understand what she learned. She learned that true beauty is on the inside. Sabrina hugs Susie before she disappears. Harvey comes back from washing up, completely normal. The aunts, Sabrina, Salem, and Susie are singing Kumbaya in the living room. Susie has clues to the family secret. A whip and the phrase, "We all have good and bad parts." Sabrina is confused and depressed again. She grabs the guitar and starts everyone singing Kumbaya once more, with Salem getting a little solo. Our end tag. Harvey and Sabrina arrive at the slicery. The doctor said his transformation was just hormones. Harvey apologizes for making them miss the photo shoot, but Sabrina is okay with the couple who got it instead. Mr. and Mrs. Popowski announce they have become the official representatives for Westbridge, and restrooms are for customers only. Libby is on the payphone telling her father that they need to move. And that is the end of our episode.
You know, I really expected for there to be like a twist of Susie not really being that great of a person, but she really is just that wholesome and good.
How do you feel about being around someone like that?
I feel you just feel inadequate and terrible about yourself.
Doesn't it get a little annoying after a while?
Short visits from this person.
Yes. Like, I'm surprised Hilda didn't slip up at any point. Like, we can kind of guess that she doesn't want to hang out on Venus, but that might just be more because of physical labor, and it's Hilda. But I'm surprised Hilda didn't say something like, Susie's great in small doses. Like,
yeah.
Anytime you slip up, you feel bad. Like, even the old woman who lives in the shoe, and Hilda says the line like, well, she turned the toe into a sewing room, and Susie's like, well, I don't like to judge. It's hard to be around that for very long. We're all imperfect.
There's good and bad parts to all of us. See what I did there?
I did see what you did. That was a very nice circle end on the episode and telling me to shove it so we can go sleep. All right, what's your new title, Sky?
I was trying to think of like a play on like Teen Wolf, because Harvey's clearly turning into like a werewolf.
It's like a werewolf slash like an Igor slash caveman.
I'd say the howling in the dumpster makes it more werewolfy than anything. So I was thinking like Sabrina and the Teenage Wolf, but I was like, that's sort of silly.
Harvey the Teenage Werewolf.
Harvey the Teenage Werewolf is actually great there. Then I was trying to think if there could be like a play on any, because I like referencing old movies about like the machines and appliances taking over. And all I could think of was Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive, and I'm not sure how I would turn that into Sabrina adjacent. I think Harvey the Teenage Wolf wins.
Well, you got two clues for your family secret. So we have a horn, we have the spell man, and now we have a whip, and we have the saying, there's good and bad parts in all of us. What's the family secret, Sky?
We all have good and bad parts is 7 words. And we know the 8th word is horn, which makes no sense as far as that being the order.
There's more than 8 words in the family secret.
I know. I just want things to be easy. Okay. Boring answer based on the clues we have. We're going to say quarter of a century because Sabrina hasn't witnessed it yet, and she is 16 years old. They transform into some sort of beast. Therefore, we have a whip, and for some reason, only a horn and blowing it can turn them back into normal witches. The exciting answer is we have a whip. So the Spellmans, to get their license, they have to go on an Indiana Jones-esque adventure with said whip. And because there's a horn where they're going to, the secret, Christian relic or whatnot, because it's Indiana Jones, is the walls of Jericho, because as we know, blowing a horn is what took down the walls of Jericho. And along the way in this Indiana Jones adventure, the witch meets people who have both good parts and bad parts to them. There is no true bad guy or good guy.
Okay.
That is my more exciting Indiana Jones spinoff of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
There you go.
Write all that down in notes. Good luck remembering.
I'm going to say good try.
Rude. Wouldn't it be funny if it were the episode that I saw small parts of in the waiting room before my eyelid surgery? And had I just kept watching, I could have figured it out. I walked away so I wouldn't be spoiled.
I don't think that one has any family secret clues in it, so I think you would have been okay if you kept watching it.
But it would have been so impressive if I had known and just been like, oh, Laura, it's this during this episode. You'd be like, oh, you are a genius.
So our next episode is season 3, episode 11, Christmas Amnesia. What do you think it's going to be about, Sky?
Oh, I have no clue. That title is So vague.
So vague.
Someone's gonna get amnesia. I mean, probably Sabrina. And she's
Mhm.
gonna have to, she turns into a Grinch or
Okay.
a Scrooge bah humbug. And she has to relearn the true meaning of Christmas, which is friends and family and all that gross cutesy stuff.
Okay. I like Salem's part in this one. Salem has some good stuff. Well, that is our episode. Please like, share, rate, and subscribe to this podcast. Hey, please rate us on Spotify. We're sitting at 4.8 stars right now, and it's really annoying me. Bump us back up to 4.9, please. I'm just telling myself that it's somebody who didn't agree with our political stances, and that's why we got knocked down. You can email us at somethingwitchypod@gmail.com. You can also comment on Spotify because I have Spotify for Creators on my tablet now. And I am
Ooh, the
somewhat better about
technology.
checking it. So, hey, you can follow us on Instagram at somethingwitchypod. Until next time.
Stay magical. Arg.